this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
If audiobooks are your thing and you've been meaning to listen to more of them, you should check out a podcast called Earsay, the Audible and iHeart Audio Club, hosted by Cal Penn. Each episode spotlights standout audiobooks on Audible across all kinds of genres: sci-fi, comedy, romance, thrillers, and more, with Cal talking to guests who help break down what makes each story worth listening to. It's a fun, easy way to discover your next great audiobook. Check out Earsay on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Our listeners love puzzles, paradoxes, and hidden patterns almost as much as we do. On TikTok, those fascinations come to life. People are breaking down physics, exploring geology, and explaining why the world works the way it does. You'll see impressive experiments, explanations that finally make sense, and connections you didn't expect. It's like having a lab, a lecture hall, and science museum in your pocket. TikTok is where wonder is shared, where curiosity turns into discovery, and where millions learn something new every day. Hey pals, how you doing? Charles W. Chuck Bryant here on a Saturday with my select pick for this week from September 17th, 2009. One of our many, many episodes on dogs, and this is a good one. How do dogs perceive time? Really, really good stuff. Check it out.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know, a production of iHeartRadio's How Stuff Works.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles Chuck Bryant. Chuck Bryant. Yes, nice, Chuck. We'll get to that in a second. Do it again. That's awesome. Chuck's barking because this is Stuff You Should Know, and this particular Stuff You Should Know is entitled, How Do Dogs Perceive Time?
And I said in dog language just then, I don't perceive time.
That is up for debate, my friend. Up for vigorous debate.
All right.
So, Chuck, let me do a little intro here, a little lead-in, segue, whatever.
I know, I spoiled your parade there.
What do we call them these days?
What do we what?
Segues, lead-ins, intros?
Intro.
Schmeckles?
Schmeckles.
Chuck, about a year ago this month, France, made history, legal history.
How so?
They actually used a dog as a witness in a criminal case.
Did they get the dog to, like, bark at someone?
Yep.
Wow.
I kid you not.
What, like an intruder?
At the very least, and I hope I'm not a Bangladeshi newspaper here, because I found it in the Daily Mail, which is not known for satire, but it can be known for poor reporting from time to time. But
so you may have egg on your face soon?
We'll find out. But there was a dog named Scooby that was brought into a...
sounds less believable.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I should have forwarded you this article. There was a dog named Scooby that was brought into a murder case, or a hearing, to see if there was enough evidence to try a man for murder.
Wow.
For something that was ruled a suicide, and the dog barked furiously at the alleged perpetrator.
And they gave him a Scooby snack?
Yeah. So that was the last I heard. It was from a year ago. But there was some concern over whether the dog's memory would serve it or not, because it had been 2.5 years since the incident. Okay,
that makes sense. And that's kind of key to how dogs may or may not perceive time.
It's the best I could come up with.
That's great.
Thanks. So what that betrays is a sense by at least the reporter and the courts in Paris that dogs have a memory, that they if they have a memory, then they should be able to perceive time, right?
Right.
Chuck, let's talk about this. What is time?
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Well, you know my whole deal with time. I've said it before.
What?
Well, time is just abstract. Numbers on a calendar and hands on a watch aren't time.
Well, yeah, no. What you're talking about is the human construct of time.
Yes.
Based on 24 hours,
which
right?
is all kind of arbitrary.
7 days in a week, 30. Well, not necessarily.
Well, not anymore. It's not.
Here's why. It was actually kind of ingenious that we should come up with a 24-hour day, because we have these things called circadian oscillators.
Yes.
Which are they're the fluctuators in our circadian rhythm, which
Hormones.
is what makes us fall asleep at night, wake up in the morning,
body temperature,
get hungry at certain times,
neural activity.
Right. The neural activity and the hormones are reactions to things like changes in temperature that are on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. Things like the changes in natural light.
Right, sure.
Right? So our reactions to these are circadian oscillators. And if you put them all together, like sleeping at night and waking up in the morning, that's our circadian rhythm. Right. But these circadian clocks actually exist on about a 24-hour period.
No, that makes sense then.
So, but like you said, days on the calendar and all that, that is a human construct.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we're trying to get to the bottom of is whether or not dogs can perceive this, not necessarily the human construct of time,
right,
but of time in and of itself, which is essentially a past, present, and future.
Exactly. And I know that one thing that we will talk about, and maybe we'll talk about right now, is you have 3 dogs.
Do you have any dogs?
I have 2 dogs.
What?
Shut up. I have 2 dogs, and I'm actually fostering 2 feral puppy rescues, which you know. So right now I have 4 dogs.
Do you want to get rid of those 2 dogs? Because we could get rid of them like that if we plug this on this podcast.
Yeah, we're kind of picky about who we give them to.
Okay, well, how about this? If you're not a creep and you love dogs...
and you live in the East Lake area of Atlanta,
send us an email if you want one of Chuck's puppies.
Very cute.
Yeah.
So anyway, if your dogs are anything like my dogs, and actually my cats too, they know when the food bell is going to ring.
Sure.
Actually, Emily calls it food abuse. They start the food abuse typically about an hour and a half before they typically get fed every afternoon. Mm-hmm. And in the morning, we feed them pretty much straight away in the morning, so they know then. But my dog Lucy, dude, comes in the room and looks at you with her head cocked, stamps on the floor with her feet, and goes, and I'm waiting for her literally to one day say, "Feed me." One day, I told Emily if she did that one day, I would be surprised for about a second.
So, Chuck, here is where we reach the bone of contention.
Right.
Sorry for that pun. I'm not Jonathan Strickland.
Your dogs do the same thing, though, I assume, right?
Well, no, my dogs are fed constantly. They always have food. For some reason, I lucked out, and they just eat whenever they want, whenever they're hungry.
Can't imagine that.
It's pretty cool.
My dogs eat their food like it's the first time they've ever been fed.
I've seen that before. My dogs, they're pretty laid back when it comes to stuff like that.
Are they fat?
No,
really.
No, they're healthier than I am.
Well, they don't.
They're healthier than a lot of people I know. No, they regulate their food intake on their own. It's weird.
That's so weird.
But I know what you're talking about. So the question is this: do your dogs know, based on past experience, that food is coming at a certain time of day? Not necessarily like 5:35 p.m., but say, as far as the dog's concerned, when sun is low in sky over there.
Right. Are they Native American?
Right, yeah. I was going to say. No, they're like Italians playing Native Americans.
Right.
Well, you think I'm dumbbell? So,
or is it a circadian oscillator? Well, that's the circadian oscillator.
It could be, yeah. It could be. What that is they're using their memories of past experiences to predict the future, which is episodic memory,
right,
which is our construction of time. Or is this semantic memory, which is totally different but related? Do you want me to go into this? Because this is outside research.
Well, I have no choice then.
Semantic memory is, all right, Chuck, let's say that you have brain damage to your frontal lobe.
I do, in fact.
Which is where your episodic memory is,
right,
is located. That's the region that controls episodic memory, which is learning from experience, right? You could conceivably learn how to play chess, right?
Right.
But you won't remember where you learned how to play chess.
Right, much like they say a baby learns how to walk and talk, but they don't remember that day you taught me how to walk.
Right, they don't have to relearn crawling or walking or talking.
On a day-to-day basis.
Right,
sure,
because they learned it, and that's semantic memory. That's like facts and rules and possibly motor movements or
right,
whatever. Or, if I run into this wall, it's going to hurt my face because I'm crawling.
Right, right.
But they don't remember, somebody teaching them, like, come crawl to me, that kind of thing, right? So, yeah, that's semantic memory. Episodic memory would be like, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had a fruit smoothie.
You had a fruit smoothie.
I remember what the light looked like. I remember what it smelled like.
That is precisely episodic memory. And I should probably give a shout out to TR Zental, who I'm like just blatantly ripping off right now. The chess example was one of Zental's examples of semantic memory. And what you've just said is almost word for word an example of episodic memory. You said, you remember these other details.
Sure.
Whereas had you said, I had a smoothie this morning, I must have because I always
burping
have
up
a smoothie,
smoothie.
right? That would be, well, not the burping part, but if you always had it, then that'd be more like semantic memory.
Okay.
So we reached the question, do dogs perceive time, or are these reactions that appear like they're keeping track of time some way, maybe through a circadian oscillator, based on semantic memories? And there's been a lot of studies that not necessarily on dogs, but on other animals, right?
Yeah, what's this crackpot's name? No,
Roberts?
No, what's this guy's name? Dr. Roberts?
Yeah. Oh, I have to say I'm going to take issue with Dr. Roberts.
Yeah, William Roberts. He's an animal cognition researcher.
Right.
Right off the bat, you're taking issue with that.
Not that part.
Title. Okay.
No.
Yeah, he did some studies on pigeons and primates, to name a couple, and long-term and short-term memory as far as remembering a sequence that they would, I guess the pigeons would peck it out and the primates would tap it out and to get a reward. And they found that they have pretty good short-term memory for this kind of thing.
Right, which is what that's working memory, right?
Yes.
But long-term is reference memory?
Yeah, but as far as the reference goes, they couldn't remember it that well if there was a big break in between.
Right. Roberts actually wrote a very famous paper as far as animal cognition goes, where he basically said that he concluded animals are stuck in time. And I just made air quotes for those of you out there listening in podcast land. And by stuck in time, he means that they live exclusively in the present, that they don't have the capacity for forming long-term episodic memory.
Episodic is the key word.
It is very much the key word.
Because I know at home you're saying, no, I taught my dog to sit when she was 1. That's not the same thing. That's what you're talking about with the baby learning how to walk.
Right. But that's not – there's a lot of examples out there in nature that would kind of belie Dr. Roberts' idea that animals or dogs are stuck in time. Well, a good one is squirrels foraging food,
stocking up for the winter,
store for the winter, and doing it year after year after year. I believe Roberts actually addressed that and says, but they continue hoarding even when their stores inexplicably disappear, which I assume some researchers went and stole squirrels' nuts and then studied them to see what they would do. I don't understand that at all.
I don't either. It seems like that would make them want to hoard.
Yeah. So I kind of have an issue with that one a little bit, but it's possible I'm not entirely seeing that point all the way.
I don't see the point. I'm not quite sure what he meant there.
But there's also one about the bananas, right, Chuck? There were some primates that were given choices between more or less bananas.
Yeah, and predictably, at first, if you offered an ape 1 banana or 2 bananas, they're going to take the 2 bananas.
Sure.
But they found that when they started increasing the number of bananas, like 10 compared to 20, they would just go for the 10 bananas. They wouldn't. He thought this meant they can't. They have no concept of the future. Like, maybe I should take these bananas because I might be hungry tomorrow.
Right. Now, that's that I think Roberts fails to take into account social structure.
Sure.
Right? We know that we could use 10 bananas for tomorrow, but we also have things like preservation techniques or refrigeration available to us.
That's what I thought too.
And if you go back in time just a few thousand years ago to hunter-gatherer societies or even hunter-gatherer societies that are around now, they don't store food at all. They forage for what they need right then, and that's what they eat. I would imagine that would actually explain a lot of the primate decisions. There's no real reason to. Their society isn't set up on this idea that I need more and more to protect myself in the future.
Exactly.
I don't know that necessarily means that they don't have any concept of the future. I think that there's all these other explanations out there.
Right, and they may, like when I read that, the first thing I thought was maybe they've never taken more than 10 bananas in their life because they've never needed to, so it doesn't even dawn on them that should be something they would do. Exactly.
I guess what we're saying, both of us are on the same page here, there are other explanations.
I agree.
And I think one of the things I took from this article was that Roberts found it conclusive that animals are stuck in time by cherry-picking some studies here.
Yeah, we kind of disagree with them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other factors. I know that my dog Lucy is stuck in time at 5:30 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
because she's always asking for the food. Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. If you own a home, you already know stuff breaks. It's not if, it's when. And somehow it's always like the AC in July or the fridge right after you go to the grocery store. That's why you always hear people say they don't make appliances like they used to, because it's kind of true.
That's right. Good thing there's American Home Shield. With an AHS home warranty, they can help fix major home systems and appliance breakdowns like your AC, plumbing, or fridge. And if they can't repair your covered item, they'll replace it, no matter how old it is.
And that's huge because fixing an AC can cost a lot. Like, hey kids, our vacation is canceled a lot. Plus, as a benefit to select plans, you can get real-time video help from live repair experts to troubleshoot home hassles at no extra cost.
Listen, everybody, home ownership is already stressful enough. No need to upset your wallet. So check out American Home Shield now and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty.
So I guess another problem, it's entirely possible, Chuck, that our brains just aren't big enough to, they're not as big as Robert's brain.
Maybe.
Did you ever hear that, like, goldfish have a 8-second memory span?
I've never heard that.
So I have, right?
You have a goldfish in your cube.
I do have a goldfish here.
Very cutie.
Yeah, Molly. She's very cute.
It's named Molly? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But having an episodic memory makes it almost impossible to think about not having one. So, like, if a goldfish does have a memory of 8 seconds, does it mean that every 8 seconds all of its memories are purged, like getting rid of the browser history in your computer? Or as new experiences come into the present, are older ones pushed out after they hit this 8-second maturity level?
Right. And how do they test that on a goldfish anyway?
Perfect, Chuck. Perfect segue. Here's the biggest problem. Robert's position is almost inherently speciesist. You familiar with this term?
Yeah.
This is a legitimate term. I'm not making this up.
Animals have no souls.
Animals don't have souls. It's impossible for a dog to be happy because that's a secondary emotion, and dogs aren't self-aware enough. There's a competing explanation for all of this. Speciesists tend to rely very strictly or remain very strictly within the structure provided by the scientific method.
And all his studies here, he probably came at it from that frame of mind, too.
Sure, right. But there's another way of looking at it, and that is that humans simply haven't come up with tests that are clever enough to get definitive proof that an animal can experience happiness or can or is aware of time, the future, the past, that kind of thing. You can take that way too far. Like after, test after test after test that proves the opposite, you could still conceivably say, well, there's a test out there that we haven't come up with yet that proves that they can. But I think that the testing that has been done is very much below that threshold so far. Yeah. I don't think we have a clue what animals are capable of as far as consciousness goes, because we have such a loose grasp on our own consciousness.
Sure, and we certainly can't delve into an animal's brain and see what they think, and they can't tell us anything. I guarantee you one thing. I bet you Dr. Roberts is not a dog owner.
Agreed.
Because you have dogs, dude, and I guarantee we're going to get tons of mail from people saying, "Are you kidding? My dog displays emotion every day." And, I guess Caesar, the dog whisperer, might say, that's you're putting your human construct on the dog's frame of mind.
Yeah, anthropomorphizing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My dog is... They're both pretty emotional.
Well, yeah, anthropomorphizing is the go-to ammunition for speciesists.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say that anybody who's saying, like, no, animals can't be happy because it's secondary emotion and they lack that sense of self-awareness that's required to experience a secondary emotion is a speciesist. But the two often go hand in hand, and it's really interesting that there's a line drawn right now between people who think animals don't have a soul, and people who think animals can be happy, and all of the implications that come with that.
Jerry, I bet you think your dog has a soul, right?
Jerry's saying yes.
Jerry just gave the sweetest face and nodded yes.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary. It's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic. If you own a home, you already know stuff breaks. It's not if, it's when. And somehow it's always like the AC in July or the fridge right after you go to the grocery store. That's why you always hear people say they don't make appliances like they used to, because it's kind of true.
That's right. Good thing there's American Home Shield. With an AHS home warranty, they can help fix major home systems and appliance breakdowns like your AC, plumbing, or fridge. And if they can't repair your covered item, they'll replace it, no matter how old it is.
And that's huge because fixing an AC can cost a lot. Like, hey kids, our vacation is canceled a lot. Plus, as a benefit to select plans, you can get real-time video help from live repair experts to troubleshoot home hassles at no extra cost.
Listen, everybody, home ownership is already stressful enough. No need to upset your wallet. So check out American Home Shield now and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry, be warranty.
Yes, so I feel like Chuck and I just opened a big old can of worms, so we'll see how this plays out in the emails, right?
Yeah.
If you want to read more about dogs perceiving time, to answer the question, according to Roberts, no, dogs don't perceive time. Time's a human construct consisting of a past, present, and future, and dogs pretty much live in the present. Chuck and I don't necessarily agree with that one. You can go on and type in dogs perceive time in the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com. Since I just said that, it means it's time for a whole mess of listener mail.
You are right. Josh, this is, we're just going to call this Muppet Mail. And we are going to go on a little longer than usual with our mail because the Muppet podcast, I think we will all agree, was sort of a sea change episode.
And plus, we just want to see how long this background music actually goes for.
I know. I mean, we literally got better response from the Muppet Show episode than anything we've ever done, I would say. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
The Henson Company twittered about it.
Yeah. Heather Henson, we should say our colleague and friend Jonathan Strickland of Tech Stuff fame, his sister knows is friends with Heather Henson, and it went viral thanks to him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got great response. It's clear that everyone loves the Muppets, and so I wanted to go just through a few of these because I didn't want to just do one. Quickly, before we start, and we never do this, but a guy sent me an email, and I kind of touched a chord with me. So I want to quickly give a shout-out for Joe to Beth in Elwood, Indiana. And Joe just wants to say that he thinks that you are a pretty cool chick, Beth.
Chuck, are you playing matchmaker? Is that why you're wearing nothing but a diaper and you have those wings on your back?
Not saying, but Beth in Elwood, Joe thinks you're a cool chick, and so do we. Because she actually sent us a Alien Hand Syndrome video, which rocked.
Cool.
It was good. I'll show it to you. Quick couple of things that we didn't mention in corrections. First of all, I mistakenly referred to the Children's Television Workshop as the Children's Television Network, so I goofed that one.
You're thinking of Home Shopping Network.
I was.
For kids.
We did not mention every Muppet movie. We did not mention every Muppet venture because...
No, I want to
many.
elucidate on this. We did that on purpose. First of all, we mentioned the 3 that were in theatrical release.
Directed by Jim Henson.
Yes, and by first of all, I mean that's it.
Right.
Right.
So a lot of people said, how could you not mention Muppets Christmas Carol? And we wanted to mention everything, but we would have been sitting here reading things all day long about the Dark Crystal and other Muppet ventures. So we chose to only do the Henson ones.
Which I have to say, Dark Crystal, that creeps me out still to this
And that was
day.
Henson too, because I know people are going to write and say that was Henson, but get over it.
Right.
We had a guy named Peter wrote in, and he told us about the Muppet Whatnot Workshop.
Yeah, at not
New York.
Goldman Sachs, at
FAO Schwartz.
Yes.
And you can go to New York City, and you could do it online, but I looked and it's down right now. But
I think it's just around Christmas time or the holidays.
No, they got bought out by Toys R Us, I think, so that's down right now. But you can still go to New York. You can go to the Muppet Workshop, and you can build your own Whatnot.
At Goldman Sachs.
And it costs about $100. And he sent me a picture of he and his little cute daughter with her Muppet Whatnot. So you want to thank Peter for that. And actually, God, I'm going on and on, but Peter had one of the big Fu Manchu mustaches like me.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about this?
No.
And I said, very cool, Peter. Thanks for sending this. I said, looks like you picked up a mustache while you were there. And he wrote back and said, no, I got that at the Sam Elliott Supply Center down the street or something like that.
Nice.
So Peter's a fun
Peter packed a picnic supper.
So that is all for the corrections. Now we have a few emails.
Oh my God.
Josh and Chuck had just listened to how Muppets worked. I was excited to hear you talk about it because you mentioned the costume designer for Miss Piggy, who happens to be my Aunt Callista.
Oh, wow.
She, if you look up the Muppet movie, you can see her in the costume and wardrobe department on IMDb. She worked closely with Henson, and I've actually seen a picture of her with Jim Henson setting up some Muppets in Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. She left the Muppets, I think, when Jim Henson died, but we still see her once a year. That's from Sam. Mm-hmm. And Josh is, in fact, eating a Reese's cup. On to the next one. Hi, guys. I love your recent podcast. I was listening and thought I would mention that Jim Henson studied Muppetology at University of Maryland. I know this because I went to school there, and there is a Jim Henson Studies program, and it is our claim to fame. I didn't know he went to my school until I went there, and there's actually a little a bench statue. It's a bench with Henson sitting on it and Kermit sitting on the back of the bench, and they're kind of holding hands.
That is beyond cute.
It is very cute. So, and she also says that this is from Alicia, that they have the rights to It Ain't Easy Being Green and Rainbow Connection. So their marching band actually plays that.
The University of Maryland?
Terrapins.
Terps?
Yeah, go Terps. Moving on.
Man, listen to this background music, Chuck. It is never ending.
I know. We compared the Muppet Show to 30 Rock, and Phil of Linden, Washington has this to say. I was trying to imagine Sesame Street would look like in real life. 2 little boys getting their own apartment, a giant bird that sleeps behind garbage cans, a few scattered, seemingly sensible adults who really have no jobs and nothing else to do.
No, Mr. Hooper had a store.
Oh, that's true. Finally, it hit me while working my job as a special ed classroom assistant. It is one big government-operated group home facility for special needs children and adults. Think about it. Bert displays classic Asperger's syndrome. They share a bedroom and obviously have some adult taking care of the rest of their house. Oscar is schizophrenic with his mood swings, and a worm is a best friend, as is Big Bird with his imaginary friend. Was it Snuffleupagus?
Uh-huh.
And tell me Grover's not dealing with severe ADHD and Cookie Monster from manic bipolar tendencies. and the jobless adults, Gordon, Susan, and Bob. So that's from Phil.
Are they jobless adults or the caregivers?
He says they're jobless adults.
All right.
I've got two more. Jerry's laughing at how long this is going, but I warned her. I was listening to your fantastic podcast and I had to write in. I am getting married at the Henson Soundstage next year.
Sweet.
So cool. He and his wife-to-be toured the soundstage. It was like being behind the scenes at the Muppet Show. We were honored as the first wedding ever to be hosted there. And I asked him, I wrote him back, I was like, dude, what's the hookup? And he had none. He just asked.
Huh.
They rent it out to people, apparently, for things, and no one's ever thought to have a wedding there.
Wow.
And that is from, he gave us some facts, but we don't have time for that. That is from Dan and of tdfillustration.com, because he's a cool artist. I wanted to plug that from Dan. And finally, Josh, from Jake in Newport Richey, Florida, says, I was an accident of the 80s, and I missed the Muppet heyday, but I was lucky enough to have 3 older sisters and parents who had the foresight to ensure that they taped several seasons of The Muppet Show. So Jake is a big fan of The Muppets now, and he told us this fact, which I did not know. Since Jim Henson's death, Ralph the dog has not spoken and is seldom used. And it's my understanding that they do this out of reverence to Mr. Henson because Ralph was his favorite Muppet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chuck just wiped away a tear.
Teary eye.
You sweet old softy.
So that's Muppet Mail. We got hundreds of pieces of mail and good blog response, and thanks for sending them in. It was a good show.
Yeah, and we'll try to keep you supplied with more good shows in the future. If you want to send an email and try to make Chuck cry, it's not that hard. You can send it to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio's How Stuff Works. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Every parent should know the car ride soundtrack. Are we there yet? How much longer? I'm bored. Well, if you're taking an extensive car ride anywhere and you've downloaded the Lingo Kids app prior to leaving the house, you may experience something strange, right, Chuck?
That's right. You may experience silence from the back seat. Your kid may go an entire car ride without asking once if they were there yet. How about that? And by chance of miracle, they may even ask if you could drive longer.
Yeah, that's the magic in Lingo Kids. Over 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows, including their favorite Disney characters. It turns the longest drives into the easiest ones, and honestly, you won't understand why you didn't download it sooner.
That's right. Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids, and it's free to download. Or go plus with the Lingo Kids subscription and unlock even more content your kids won't be able to get enough of. You can save up to 60% on the yearly plan. Just search Lingo Kids in the App Store or Google Play. Lingo Kids, everything kids love. You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days guaranteed or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute. So Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, their chef-inspired flavors. It's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed Human.